Oh, it doesn't. Oh, yes, it is now.
There we go. So, good morning. Hi, Claire.
Morning.
Thanks for joining me again. So, carrying on from yesterday, where I shared the story of Bybi honey in Copenhagen, I've got this lovely big jar that I was actually given by one of their beekeepers, and it's heather. Now, there's a lovely word associated with heather honey, and it's thixotropic.
Oh,
And thixotropic means that you have a jelly-like consistency. You can see how it's not pouring. Got to be careful I don't tip it over my laptop. But when you stir it up, it returns to a liquid structure. And so it's like a jelly. Yeah, I suppose it is like a jelly. So you see, as I stir it, now it is more likely to fall on my computer, so then it can pour, but it has really large granules. Oh my gosh, stirring that up, I can just smell it. So it has that really strong, rich aroma of a heather honey, which is quite earthy. um do you know, I'm not that clear. I don't very often go and put my head in heather plants, but does heather have a strong aroma, the
I
flower?
don't know. I don't grow them because they are usually lime hating. So I don't
Not
usually grow
my.
them because my compost isn't sort of acidic enough.
So yeah, it is quite an earthy smell. I suppose, a bit like sort of horse skin, but then there is that floral note, so it's very slightly animal, earthy, but yeah, then there is an aroma. Right, now as I stir it up, there is more flowers coming through. But yeah, it has that sort of burning that you'd get from wet dog,
Mhm.
animal skin, like right at the back. And I'm really sensitive to that smell because I really don't like the smell of wet dogs. But yeah, but it overall it's not an offensive aroma at all. It's quite sweet. So here we go. So you can see how it's, by stirring it up, it's gone a lot more liquid. And it's got very large crystals still. Mm. Oh, wow. So you still have the large crystals, but the rest of the honey just dissolves and fills your mouth. Sorry, this is going to make your mouth water. It really
Breakfast.
is. It is amazing. But then the granules just sort of crush like a really soft sugar. Mm, that is lovely. It is, as you were saying yesterday, Claire, it's a ling heather. Now you can get a bell heather as well, which is much more floral. And this seems to be, it's got hints of that floral, but not as strong as the Dorset bell heather that I'm really familiar with. Wow. And then once it's gone, it does leave a sourness in your mouth, but there is a freshness. It is, quite floral, quite sweet. That's a really delicious honey. Mm. And interestingly, I looked at the best before date. Now with honeys, legally you can only put 2 years on, but as many of us have heard the stories of honey being found in Egyptian tombs and still being edible, if you store honey properly, it's not going to go off. And honey was used and is still used in many parts of the world as a preservative. So they would preserve bodies, you preserve ginger, you preserve spices, all kinds of things in honey. So it is a bit crazy that you have to put 2 years on it. However, if you're a honey connoisseur, you would be aware that honey changes. I like to think of it changing rather than degrading. But
Maturing.
yeah, maturing. And it does depend on the variety. Some honeys mature better than others. And I've had honeys which at first taste, from harvesting from the hive, they've had one distinctive nectar source. and then they've been stored, opened up 6 months, a year, 2 years later, and then other flavors have come through. So as some drop, others come forward. So it is a living, if you're not heating it, it is a living organism. So it all depends on the source, how it's going to survive. But if you are an everyday consumer and you've got honey and you see that the best before date it has passed, try the honey. Don't feel you have to throw it away. And what a lot of organizations will do is they won't bottle the honey until they know they're going to sell it, because if you put the 2 years on it, it's no good. So by keeping the honey in big barrels, and then they'll bottle it. So you could quite often have a harvest that's bottled a year after it was harvested to give it that 2-year sell by date. So, but excellent honey. I'm really pleased that this honey advent has reintroduced me to Bybi and reconnected me with Copenhagen, and I've really enjoyed both those honeys. So thank
Excellent.
you very much.
Yep.
Thank you. And yep, I've chosen all the other honeys. I've just got to wait for a couple more people to get back to me about when they can join, and then all the dates will be updated hopefully by the end of tomorrow on the calendar. So
Excellent.
see you again. All right, bye.
Bye.